Thanks for staying tuned. Welcome back. Curtis Adigba is a political analyst joining us virtually from the commercial capital of the country in Lagos. Good morning to you, Curtis. Thank you for your time. Can you hear me, Curtis?
All right, thank you.
It seems as if we're having some problems with your audio. But can you hear me, Curtis?
No, I can hear you.
All right, then. Our situation as it is now, when I say our, I mean those who are observing the Russian invasion of Ukraine, is that we seem to have settled in for a long grinding position, and the economic, political fallouts of all of this will continue for quite a while. Is that your reading as well?
Yes, I agree with you. You know, like we all know, this is not going to be a war that we have an easy winner, if there's going to be one at all. Because it's not just a war between Ukraine and Russia. It has become a proxy war where supporters of Russia are involved in certain ways, and supporters of Ukraine are also involved in supplying arms and giving some other help. So it has to be a diplomatic solution. There is not going to be an end to this war by fighting with hardwares and then gaining a victory.
Now, at that point, I'm happy you mentioned that, because my last guest, who was joining us from Kazakhstan, said the Ukrainians do not appear to be prepared to give up anything substantial in return for peace. And the Russians believe that in the medium to long term, they are going to grind this to a victory. So the motivation is not really there for peace talks. And that in any case, the Turks, who are trying to put together the peace talks themselves, are also concerned about food shortages and about being able to create a land corridor for food to move from Ukraine to other places even before we get to peace talks.
Yes, and you see, here, the dynamics are constantly changing. Don't forget that Russia is not whole. In other words, Russia is not the power that it used to be. Now, in the course of fighting this war, we have seen that several countries have imposed heavy sanctions on Russia. That's also hurting. So the ability of Russia to continue fighting at this level for as long as it will take is also in doubt. So the earlier we start looking at diplomacy in resolving this issue, the better for all. Because the effect and the impact on the global economy is here for all of us to see.
Now, of course, we can't look at this situation without taking a look at us. And when I say us, I mean back here on the African continent and including Nigeria. What I talked about, the food crisis, there are those who say that Nigeria itself will be affected by that, considering that we're a major importing country. We import virtually everything that we eat, starting from wheat to the oils and so on. And all these majorly come from these two countries. So the fight over being able to export grain is also in Nigeria's favor for it to be won. But we don't seem to be making any moves either to secure alternative supplies or to join the chorus to ensure that that export takes place.
Well, Ladi, you know that as a country, we have fundamental problems. As you also know, most of our farmers today cannot go to their farms. If you understand what I mean.
I do.
Because of the insecurity situation. So we've had to rely on export for as long as we all know. But now that we are not able to bring grain from Ukraine and other parts of the world, we are beginning to see the impact on our daily living. Now, in the last 1 or 2 months, bread, common staple on our tables, have moved all over Lagos. I mean, we're witnessing astronomical rise in the prices of bread. From 450, it is now about 1,000 for a loaf of bread for most people. So, and that is the impact. And there are other impacts, economic impacts. And the reality is that, you know, when people think about what is happening in Russia and Ukraine, the tendency is to think that it's not our problem. Ukraine and Russia, they are far away from us. But what people do not understand is that the world is interconnected in certain ways. That whatever is happening somewhere else that you think is not your problem and should have no impact on you, in reality, they determine how you live in your own small space. And so it is time, like I've said, for countries of the world and leaders to come together and begin to look at diplomacy, in attempts to resolve this problem. This is not going to end by fighting.
That's a lot to think about. Curtis Adigba, thank you for your time this morning. As always, we'll be getting back to you as time progresses for more perspectives on what is happening in that theater of war. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.